What's good with everybody, man? So we got a couple people gonna be tapping in right now. More people are invited if you want to tap in though. What's up, worn out shoes? How's it going, brother? Get up in here. Okay, there we go. I'm up in here. What's cracking, everybody? Man, waiting for a couple people to tap in. Where's the woods table at? Oh shit, it's all right, brother. Got you, man. It's been a crazy last couple of days with all the stuff that's been going on, man. Okay. Yeah, I'm supposed to have a new guest that you guys never met before. It's gonna be on, but I don't know if they're gonna be putting out their name or not. But I got a couple other guests you guys are familiar with that are gonna be tapping in. The day right here, I'm telling you. Let's see. PNG. Let's see if it. Give it a few minutes. I got a couple people, like I said, they're gonna be tapping in right now, and they're gonna voice their opinion on it. A lot of things. Sacramento en la casa. Salutations, Big Flock. What's cracking, man? Osito 707. What's cracking, man? Nah, they ain't looking for me, man. I'm staying good. Your chat was frozen for a minute. Yeah, ML Mendes does look like that, huh? Fresno Gente. What's cracking, man? Shetty's up in here. What's cracking? I'm always the one that's ready, huh? Every time. I got one person tapping. Let me see what it is. Oh,
Oh, I'm driving right now.
we hear you.
Can you hear me?
Got you. Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, cool.
How's it going, brother?
Good. You? We live
You guys
already?
Yeah, we live right now. We live, man.
All right.
I'm waiting for a couple people. I got Toko tapping in, and then I got another ex-NF member is supposed to tap in too because he wants to voice his opinion. He's never been on a platform before, so it's gonna be his first time. So I'm waiting for him to tap in.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah, I hear you.
This if you guys don't know, that's that prison guard right there, who's the man that pretty much broke the story.
Hey,
And
I found out
man,
about it on the 21st.
the 21st. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's everybody's confused right now. You know, right? Well, even the administration, I heard in Pelican Bay, excuse me, that they're on split program right now, and they're trying to figure out what happened. So right now they're coming out like at separate times. I heard. You know,
Yeah.
the kind of modified program, that's like I said, like we've been discussing. I've been talking to a lot of different people, man, and just the way in which this went down is fucking crazy. Locking the guys in the freezer.
Well, apparently it wasn't the freezer. Apparently there's a area you can get locked out that they send the workers in increments, and they were in the certain area prior to. So they waited till that guy was separate from the rest of the guys.
Yeah. No. So I heard that. Was this Norteño? Was he a black guy? A black Norteño? Is that correct?
Yeah. The one dark skin, so I don't know if the dude was actually black running north. Yeah, the dude was black. Yeah.
Okay. And so is he gonna make it? Is he gonna make it or no?
I don't want to say any rumors, but dude, there's probably like a 1% chance he makes it, if that. Like from what I've heard.
Wow.
I mean, from what I heard, the dude's on life support.
He's on life support now.
Here's the thing, though. You know, support. They can what is that? Medical parole him. They can turn him over to the family. Let's say they turn him over to the family tomorrow. The family pulls the plug. CDCR is not going to report that there was a murder in the prison system because it doesn't belong to CDCR no more. And nobody would ever know the difference.
Because they have to do a press release by law. Now, have you been noticing that they've been doing press releases like months later lately or weeks later?
No, they've been on top of it for the murders, but I mean, how many attempted murders riots go, under the wraps?
Yeah.
But yeah,
now,
they said
all your time
they said that dude's brain dead, bro.
Oh man, that's some cold stuff. So, in all your time as like a correctional officer, lieutenant, and whatnot, right? I'm pretty sure it's the same for all groups. And you already know this. Whenever there's an isolated incident between one group, like say individuals, and something like this happens, there's always a retaliation that follows. Am I correct?
So I wanted to touch on that word, isolated incident, man. That word is an administration word. That shit came from the Green Side administration. And it started back before, like in 2010, 11, 12, maybe 13, there was an incident. And they said, oh, that's an isolated incident. We're like, what the fuck is an isolated incident? And then that's when they started that word. That word is like, oh, yeah, that black dude attacked that Mexican, but it's an isolated incident. It's squash. No, it's not fucking squash. But even staff assaults, they would call it an isolated incident. Right after the assault, man, the blood's still wet on the ground. So that's like, how the fuck do you know that's an isolated incident? That was just a word that CDCR headquarters to resume program and keep it up and running. I don't like that word. And in prison, there's no such thing as an isolated incident. Maybe a paisa killing your cellmate over disrespect would be isolated.
Yeah. Let me see. A lot of people coming in and tapping in, man. My boy the Raider tapped in. Let me see. So, okay. Let's see. Was the facility Pelican Beach an active facility? Yes, it is an active facility. It happened on A yard. And there's a well-known
that poster looks good. I don't need to let that stuff.
What's up, PNG?
Is Pelican Bay a level 4 prison?
Yes, it's a level 4 prison.
Okay. But
so I mean, there's some individuals on that yard that are pretty much no, there's no more headquarters like it was before. Okay. Ever since everybody got released, they're all spread out. But there's some main haters. There's some guys there that have been around for a minute, man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Looking at, I think Night Owl's there. Baca. I think Tablas is there. So you got some individuals that have been around for a minute that know the game. And so I don't see how. See, this is what I'm thinking happened. I'm thinking that there may have been an incident between this individual and something happened, right? And the politics happening in prison. You go approach that group. Hey, you guys have to deal with this. right? And if you don't deal with it accordingly, usually that group's gonna take fucking first action, and that's how fucking shit kicks off. Well, now with all the end-all hostilities, I don't see why they even did this. It's almost like a power play move, letting people know, okay, we did this. What are you guys gonna do about it? You know, what's your opinion on that, Hector?
It's you guys got to remember, like, a battle versus a war, right? And let's talk about that OG Crip that got fucking blasted in Salinas Valley by the Sureños. Yeah, the blacks got the upper hand, but that's just a battle. Don't misinterpret winning a battle for winning the war, man. This is a long game fucking thing. And that's where I think the South organization has that mindset to play the long game and win the war. And everybody else is falling into it, man. Like, what the hell? Prison is still prison.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know what I mean? Like, fuck, bro. Right before this, I had so much of shit saying things like, I think what the North is experiencing is the same thing that COs and Greens experience after an assault. Being told, hey, you cannot get your run back. You cannot during a staff assault, you cannot, it's an isolated incident. Leave it alone. After a while, you get tired of getting your ass kicked, man. And you decide, hey, this shit really for me? And do they have my best interest in mind? They don't. That's the way I look at it. We've already been through this.
I've never in my whole career, if you touch one of ours, it's a declaration of war, basically. Therefore, it has to. It's whether you want war or not. It's basically you're saying that you could do what you want. And like right now, like I was telling you before, with all the indictments that have happened, like recently, like there's no really main like leadership that's there up in the state prison right now. They're all a bunch of people who are new and like don't have the time and grade or the experience and know what to do. So it's almost like they're testing the waters. Like, okay, this is what we did. What you guys gonna do about it? You know?
You're right, man. One group cannot touch another group, because if that's the case, we'll just be like Alabama, Mississippi. It will be a fucking free for all.
Hey, so Flacco, when something like this happens, and say somebody, okay, this happened in Pelican Bay. So say the homies in, I don't know, Salinas hear about this. Do they need permission from higher ups to take off, or can they just start reacting because of what happened in Pelican Bay?
Every yard's supposed to have a chain of command, right?
Okay.
Technically, like I said, see, back in the days when it used to be just prisons. What happened at a prison usually didn't always spread out to other prisons. So say you're in Calipatria, something happens over there, it stays there usually, right? But now you got to end all hostilities, right? You got big organization members on these yards that are making these decisions, and you may have a death on your hands right here.
Oof,
that's going to spread out to that's going to spread out to every prison, no matter what. You know, and right now all that does is it gives every northerner the incentive not to trust anything that the MA or the Sureños say. You can't trust them now. There's no way. You know?
You think
it's not that you couldn't.
You couldn't trust them before, right? But you kind of gave them, had more of expectations. Okay, they don't want to go there. We're making money. We don't want problems. See, that's the whole thing that's being thrown out there is, oh, we don't want to fuck up the money. You know what I'm saying? But money doesn't really fucking. Money isn't everything when it comes to certain groups' egos, right? Because if you start to compromise your morals, then your fucking manpower is not going to have trust in their leadership, and that's where you're at right now. What's going to happen because of this? Especially if the individual does not make it, that's going to make it even worse. You know.
Now, when something like this happens at the state level, does it reach the federal level at all?
No.
Okay.
No, shouldn't.
So back in your day, Flaco, if Sureño would have killed a norteño, it would have been on throughout the penal system.
Not always, right? I mean, like, I remember they killed the norteño in High Desert one time in the rotunda with a tuna can, and we heard about it, but it was kicking off everywhere else, right? So if you were on a yard and it was lax. It didn't always carry over back then.
Yeah.
Right? What happened at your prison stayed at your prison. It's like if the Crips are getting off with the Southsiders in say Ironwood, right? It doesn't mean that they're going to kick it off in Centinela. The same thing. But the North and South have had such a fucking long history, and it's been so peaceful for fucking 8 years.
Yeah.
You know, this has everybody with a hair in their ass right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not good,
Yeah,
man.
one
Like, I know none of us are condoning the violence. None of us want to see it. But again, nobody wants to see people be led to a slaughter, man.
Yeah. You know, like I always said before, people want to unite, you know, Rasta groups and whatnot, and as long as you still have titles associated, like North and South, it's not going to be possible because you have egos, you know, and you're going to have one organization that thinks that they could do it better than the next. There's a reason why these groups were separated for so fucking long. There's a reason why there's so many different S and Y gangs nowadays within these Rasta groups, because in general, Rasta groups there's a lot of tribalism, a lot of alpha egos. And so it's hard to get all those fucking on the same page. And that's why eventually you knew this was going to happen. But I didn't think it was going to happen this fast.
I didn't think it was going to last this long. Real quick, do you think the heavy hitters that spent decades in the shoe forgot about how bad the shoe was? And that's why they're acting out like this? Meaning, if I was with a crazy girl and she was toxic as fuck and we broke up, but yet I start missing her and I want to go back, but I forgot that it was toxic as fuck, you think they're experiencing the same thing?
Possibly. But the thing is that they can't lock them down. That ruling's already been made for the gang related issues. I think what you're going to see now is you're going to see people get locked up now for violence. Okay, like if they think that you're the cause, like the shot caller, they're going to start locking you up for indeterminate terms. Like before, they could lock you up for indeterminate term. You didn't have to be a gang member as long as you were violent. So if they could prove all these incidents are happening because of certain gang members, it's more than likely they could start locking them down. You know?
Now, locking them up is one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is getting blasted by your own brothers on the yard, which we've seen time and time again lately.
Yeah.
It's just lose-lose.
You know, it's 2023, and nothing surprises me nowadays. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm surprised that the stuff in Salinas Valley hasn't had no fucking reaction yet. You know, yeah.
The who?
With the Crips and the Southsiders. I mean,
so
the Southsiders are pretty much they're 0-3 over there.
With the Crips and the Southsiders, right? That's the blacks. So check this out. You want to know about Green's perspective and Green's experience in the matter. God forbid a black try to get crazy with the CO in Salinas Valley. Because if I was there and I'd be like, wait a minute, man. You're trying to get crazy with me, but you won't get crazy with the Southsiders. You won't run it back. Get the fuck out of here with that. Right? Like, how dare you think you're going to come at me when you ain't going to go after them? I've experienced that in RJD on A Yard. The blacks went off on the whites. The whites didn't run it back, and that shocked me. The whites were outnumbered by far, but I don't care because what I've seen in the past, they run it. It doesn't matter. And then a white looked at me and he goes, "Don't look so serious." I go, "Hey, what'd you just say? Don't look so serious, man." I said, "What race are you?" White? Why? Right? Like, how the fuck are you gonna get crazy with a CO? You won't even hold your own against your own with your race. It's weakness. Everybody views it as weakness.
It's active 270 I'm reading this. Yeah, see the thing too right now is where does if this happens, where does this leave all the SNY groups?
Man,
you know?
I don't know. I never took the SNY group serious, man. They're out of control. They're doing their own thing, but I don't know.
A prison guard.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: what you were just speaking on, like when one group attacks another, like say for example, Sereno attacked the black, or whatever,
Yeah.
the blacks don't run it back, does that
Right.
make them, the other group, attack them more? See how far they can push the envelope with them?
It kind of lets everybody know the tone.
Hmm.
It kind of lets everybody know. Even the other races are gonna look, and they're gonna. And then the race that initiated the attack is gonna feel more empowered, more emboldened. Like, yeah, we did that. Now what? And then that causes more crazy shit.
Hmm.
It's never good for one group to force their hand on another group, or one person to force their hand on another person.
True. Very true, man.
It's
And
never
that's what it comes
good.
down to. So I want to know if there was any discussions, like, because apparently this dude was a target, right?
Clearly.
So apparently he must have did something to piss somebody off. Now, did they
Yeah.
approach the Norteños, and what was the feedback?
What you said in your video, I think is true. I think they said to take care of them. They did not take care of them, so they blasted them. Now, that's not good. That's not good.
You know,
But people that don't understand that environment can probably see it on the surface. There's more to it, man. There's belief systems, there's morals, there's values, there's prison's already a dangerous situation as is. You don't have to make it more dangerous by telling you to go rub elbows with the enemy. And that's what I say about the whole Norway project. The administration wants COs to go play foosball with the inmates, basketball in St. Quentin. What? No way. No way. There's still attacks going on. You know what I mean? It's not that we hate the inmates. That's not the case. But I'm saying is that I'm not going to go rub elbows with somebody that has the potential to kill me. I'm not going to do it. And I'm not going to tell my officers to do that if I was still employed. Because of the possibility. The possibility's there. Look at
the Norway project.
Salinas Valley, they have a stupid documentary. They pulled out a J-Cat. Literally, dude's crazy. Oh, look, he's our buddy. He's playing foosball. He's a great guy. He stabbed the CO with a pen the following day, man. Crickets. Crickets. That's like the North and the South. Hey, we got a peace. I use the word peace treaty because that's what it is. The peace treaty, hand of all hostilities. You got the North telling the people, hey, it's cool, man. It's cool. Nah, did that look cool to you?
Yeah, they're on lockdown.
That doesn't look cool.
The administration are still trying to figure out what happened, from what I was told.
Yeah, but administration is incompetent.
Yeah, they're not going to know. They're going to find it out later.
So they're escorting inmates to the clinic, to their medical groups, right? So apparently a CO had a word with the inmates and said, "What's going on, man?" And one of the guys said, "Hey, I'm short to the house. I just want to get the fuck out of here, man. This is going to be a bloodbath." And that dude was not from the North.
No?
So they're kind of like, hey, this is going to be bad, right? Like, but who knows, bro? Who knows? It's 2023. It might just fucking get swept under the rug, and then tomorrow's a new day, which is crazy.
It's all about this, though. If it does, it's going to be about that. You know, because they were not making the amounts of money that they're making on these prison yards that they're making today. They're making a whole lot of big whop right now. And so a lot of these individuals don't want.
So if it's about the money, then these soldiers on both sides have a decision to make. Am I going to hang up the gloves and walk away alive and with a parole date, or am I going to continue and end up dead in a fucking and my homie's locked in a freezer? That's plain and simple. They can't see their future, but we could.
Yeah. You know, shit, man. It's.
And let me tell you
this:
would you look at that as shameful for those soldiers to walk away at a time like this? I would look at it like, hey, you made the right choice, man.
To be honest with you, I've always looked at the end of hostilities, right? If I was to look at it from an active perspective, right? Active.
Right.
I've always looked at it as a treasonable offense.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And that's just me knowing the bylaws and whatnot, and the way that they kind of bend. It seems like one group is bending over more for the other group. That's what it looks like.
I
And
like
one
the
group
idea. I like the idea of peace, right?
I like the idea of peace too.
Of nobody fighting, nobody killing, but that has not been the fucking case. Now dudes are getting murdered every week.
You're not lying.
Do we say, hey, that's prison? They had that coming. That's all business? Because in a way, yeah, that is business. It is prison. And I don't know if they did or didn't have it coming. Is that a necessary evil? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, Flacco, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Say, the NF, the Norteño side, when this builds up and it starts to be an all-out war, do you think the North would try to welcome the Bulldogs back into the fold, decrease their numbers?
The Bulldogs don't want to come in the fold.
They don't?
No.
Let's look at the cartel in Mexico as an example, as a historical example. Back then, I mean, I've been watching the Narco show, and you had the Guadalajara cartel, right? And then now they have splintered off to so many little different splinters. Zetas, all kinds of CJNG, all kinds. Michoacan, Familia Michoacan. Maybe that's going to be the future of CDCR. Just all kinds of splintered groups. Who knows?
Yeah.
Because nothing good lasts forever.
Yeah, but it hasn't even been good, period, for anybody. It's like only select few people are benefiting from it, man.
So they get killed.
Yeah, eventually something's going to have to give. That's the whole point. You know?
Because look,
let's
say you're a rich heavy hitter. Guess what? Your brother, your buddy right next to you, the jealousy's gonna kick in, the envy's gonna kick in, and he's gonna sell you out, man. I've seen it over and over and over again. Like they can't help themselves.
Hey, what up, Mr. Goyo? What's going on, home? Get homie?
And do you want to be in that lifestyle, man, where you're constantly looking over your back?
Man, hold on. Fuck. I don't know. I'm interested to see how it's going to affect the other groups. So, what are the other groups thinking right now? You know what I mean?
They need to stand back and stay out the way. They need to stock up right now. Stock up and stay out the way.
So how many years were you a prison guard?
16 years, man. I left 1 year ago. It just got too political, too crazy. On the inmate side, on the staff side, it just got wild, man.
And how many different prisons did you work in?
2 down south, Centinela, and then the one in San Diego.
Oh, okay.
The one in San Diego was like a psych ward, man, like a mentally ill hospital. It was crazy. But like,
what do you mean by political on the guard side?
What'd you say?
What do you mean by political on the guard side? Is it as far as promotions or something like that?
No, man. Like it's treacherous.
I had to answer some text messages real quick.
Oh, you're good. No, it's treacherous, man. You wouldn't believe it, but the administration are unethical, man. They're grimy. They will. Yeah. They'll set you up, man. It's crazy. And a bunch of fucking lames at the top too, like guys that never actually were COs, worked the line, had a rapport with inmates, know how to talk to people. These just some weasels up at the top. Kind of, you know how the world is a mess right now outside. It's a mess inside of prison too.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, man. But the thing is, nobody ever told the truth about it. Like, I actually had to leave to be able to speak on it, or else they would have screwed me over. But to me, it's worth it. Yeah. I enjoy antagonizing my former employer. Okay. It's funny. It's funny, man.
So let me ask you this.
Where you at?
I'm in
You in
Chicago.
California? Oh,
No, I'm in
Chicago.
Chicago. Yeah.
That's wild over there too, man. I be
Oh
watching the
yeah.
news.
Yeah, and exactly like you said, all the groups is nothing but splinter groups now. All the big gangs are broken down to splinter groups. Splinter groups are broken down to smaller groups. Yeah, exactly how it is.
Are you like in South Chicago, like
Now I'm in
the
the
rough?
the south side,
You know,
yeah.
this is an interesting comment right here, right? Flacco, seriously, change the subject. Why you always talk about prisoners? It's a prison genre channel, man. What else are we supposed to talk about?
Wow.
Always somebody. There's always somebody, huh? Let's
It's
see.
like it's like commentary, man.
I like my homie Hango just said. He goes, where's Toko at? Okay, Toko's supposed to come in. Where you at, Toko? Man,
Man, what up,
Toko's supposed to
Josh? The
tap in,
homie
man.
hangout. What up, bro?
So how is Chicago? Like, do you feel safe walking around, going to a liquor store, or is it cool, or you got to look
No.
over your back?
I don't go outside to take my garbage out without bringing my gun.
Sounds about right.
I mean, seriously, going to the gas station could be a life or
Yeah.
death decision. Going to the wrong gas station.
You want to know something, man? I live in a
That's,
nice area in California, and
Mm.
just recently it's gotten bad, man. Shootings in the restaurants, the nice restaurants,
Hmm.
it's gotten fucking crazy.
Hmm.
yeah,
Hey, so
man.
let
I
me
mean,
ask you
it's
this:
it's
the shoes, since they empty the shoes out, what are they doing with them? Are they just empty sales now?
Oh, they turned them into level twos. So you
Okay.
had level two, low level inmates point system. Now they're gonna, dude, they're closing down prisons. So what it looks like is they'll
yeah,
lower the points. They'll lower it to a low level two, and then they'll just empty it out.
Wait,
But
wait.
every prison in California right now has about one empty yard. Fucking yard is empty.
Wait a minute. Where,
And
with all the crime, they actually closing prisons?
so you want to know where all the inmates are at? They're getting
Yeah.
released to the streets. They're paroling.
Damn.
Yep. And then they change the laws on the streets where they really won't prosecute you and send you back to prison. It's kind of hard to get sent back to prison. So it's kind of like the
Seriously?
Wild Wild West right now.
Damn. But
oh
I thought
wow,
with all the gang injunctions in California, people getting locked up for just
Well, those are like ATF. Those are like U.S. Marshals, RICO bus,
oh
DEA. Those are big bus.
okay.
The feds, they'll just watch a certain group for years, man. They'll just collect all kinds of intel, let them do their thing, and then just roll them up in one shot.
yeah. They want a tight seal type of indictment, though. They want to get as many people as they can get involved too. They'll be patient with it, you know. Then if it's going to become a strictly federal prison gang, fuck.
So it's California moves different, man. It's different. It's even more different now. It's fucking weird.
When did you start seeing a change, man? Because you were what was it? You had 11 years or 13 years?
Total
Yeah,
16. But
16 years. Okay, so you
I
see the
saw the
transition.
change. I saw the change when Centinela level 4, Charlie Yard. When a big ass white dude, GP, stabbed the CO in the back of the neck, right in the during yard recall, and they let the inmates up. Fucking 3 days later, 1 week later, they were up and running, and everybody was like, "What the fuck? What is this?" And then that's when they used that term, isolated incident. Um, that made us feel like shit. That made us feel like, hey, what the fuck? They're not even gonna get slammed for like a month, 2 months, 3 months. Nope, back up. And then that's when they raised the podium. They raised the podium about 2 inches off the ground, and then they put a rail around it, so you couldn't just run up on it. Then I saw it was either the Mexicans and blacks went off, or the blacks and the it was the Mexicans and the blacks went off, and they told us all blacks cannot be locked down. We're like, what do you mean all blacks cannot be locked down? Yeah, only the Bloods. And we were all young COs. We're like, well, how the fuck are we supposed to know who's the Blood and who's a Crip? Like, the fuck? But that's when that started. You couldn't no longer lock down races. And this is all through lawsuits and shit. Um,
Yeah, I mean before they used to have us on lockdowns up to a year sometimes, man. A whole year,
2 years.
lockdown.
I remember
You know what I
self-feeding, showing up, self-feeding every day.
You know, they would give you modified program here and there, right? Every once in a while they give you day room, but you had to have enough staff. And you know, there's never enough staff.
One other weird thing that I saw, right? I'm telling you, major things that I saw change in the system. Not only did I see different races playing sports against each other, which on a level 4 GP, which I thought was extremely weird, but I kid you not, there was I'm trying to fucking think, man. One was a Mexican, the other one was a black. I can't remember which one was which. There was a inmate in the cell making the other one do push-ups outside of his cell because he lost a bet, and that was on a level 4 GP yard, Charlie yard, Sentinella. I thought that was weird as fuck.
Oh wow,
that actually happened. I saw that shit because I asked, "What is that guy doing up there?" Like he lost a bet. He's doing push-ups for another race. And this was back in 2000 fucking 12, 13, 14, dude. They're 12, 13.
This is a level 4 yard.
Level 4 GP.
Oh wow.
This is all weird shit, man.
Hey, prison guard.
Yeah.
Is there like a common fear amongst the guards, like when you're on the street, that they fear running into someone they was were like somebody was locked up with?
Not for me. I'm not thinking about not for me. I mean, when I'm walking around, I have a common fear of everybody. Meaning, like I'm looking for it. I'm not exactly looking for a former prisoner. I'm looking for anybody that can harm me. But I'm sure if you were acting out of pocket all the time, you can get got on the streets. It's happened before.
Okay. You ever ran into a former prisoner when you went on the street?
Yeah, but it was nothing major. Like a hey, what's up? How's everything doing? Good. Yeah, it was cool. Like even inside of a prison, it's not always tension between COs and inmates or convicts. It's just everybody's trying to get through their day.
Okay.
Yeah, there might be a misconception that we're down each other's throats every day, but nah, man, we holler at each other. We talk about sports. Hey, man, how's your day? You know, you got a visit coming this weekend. It's kind of like that, like respect, mutual respect.
Okay.
But when it pops off, but nothing's the same anymore, man. We got body-worn cameras now, which is new for the state. We made history.
What's up, whack dudes? Good to see you, big homie. So in your 16 years, what's up, Lucky Loco? So was it common, like how often, like what was the most, so what years were you, like you came in, what, like 2000?
2006.
2006?
November 27, 2006.
Okay. And then, so going through those 16 years, was it like a up and down with the violence, but like were there years that were more violent than others, or was it just like pretty much the same?
When I first got there in 2007 at Sentinella, Delta Yard was on lockdown because the blacks and the Mexicans had just had a major riot on Delta Yard, level 3, GP. So bad that the Mexicans stabbed the shit out of a black dude in front of Delta 2. 1, 2. They picked his body up and wiped the body up against the side of the wall. You can see the blood. You can see the blood. Like they literally picked the dude up and then like painted the wall red with his body.
Damn.
They were on. That had happened like a month prior for me graduating the academy. So that's the type of environment that I walked into. They were on lockdown. Charlie Yard, Charlie Gym, the Mexicans had just went off on either the whites or the blacks in the gym. So that gym was all Mexicans, which was a bad thing because if you only have one race inside of one area, all their attention is on the cops. It's on the COs. They don't have to look over their own shoulder for their opposition, which kind of sucks for us.
So let me ask you this in your opinion as a guard. I hear different things online. When it comes to the blacks,
Yeah.
do they hold their own against other races, the Serenos, or is it a thing where they have to get attacked a couple of times before they respond, or does it just
No,
vary?
no, they're not going to get attacked a couple times to respond. As soon as they're
Okay,
getting attacked, they're going to respond. And
okay,
like in general, man, blacks in general are big dudes, tall, right, big. So they got hands like they're gonna fuck some shit up. But when you're
mhm,
getting swarmed by 3, 4, 5 on 1, it kind of don't matter how big you are. They're gonna chop you down. Literally, they're
mhm,
gonna chop you down. I've seen a lot of race riot, Bravo Yard. I've seen blacks and Mexican riot, Code 3. That's the biggest riot we could have.
mhm.
Probably like 100 and 100. Alpha Yard, I've seen the blacks and the Mexicans. Um, they're fighting. What it looks like is they kind of, well, depending on where they're at, they'll band together. So now you have a large group, two different groups, large. And eventually, I mean, the crazy thing about riots back then is they will get down, they'll get back up. They'll get down, they'll get back up.
Mhm.
So it's just constant fighting, violence.
Okay. And in your experience, when it comes to the blacks and Mexicans, is it usually the blacks responding, or do they initiate as much as the other groups?
Can you say that again?
Like when it comes to the blacks and Mexicans, is it usually the Mexicans taking off first, or the blacks take, defending themselves as opposed to them taking off first?
Usually it's the Mexicans going off first. Usually it's a
Okay.
disrespect issue or a perceived disrespect issue.
Okay.
Um, but the crazy thing is when one go like when you have one Mexican and one black fighting and
Mhm.
everybody turns to see, that whole fucking place erupts, man. It erupts like a forest fire.
Okay.
Everybody everywhere just starts taking off on each other.
Mhm.
And then, COs get on the radio all panicky and excited. And, code 3, riot, code 3. And then everybody in the prison hears the radio. They get all excited. They go get their riot gear, and then they come and they just start, shooting people with a 40 millimeter block gun, the big
Man.
pepper spray. The big pepper spray looks like a super soaker.
Mhm.
And that pepper spray is everywhere, man. You can smell it in the air. It's on everybody. You're slipping. You're falling. It's just a mess.
Right.
You got those grenades that are like powder
Mhm.
grenades, pepper spray, and that's all in the air. Your eyes are burning, your skin's burning. Dudes are stabbed. It's kind of a scene, man.
Yeah. And then also, let me ask you this: out here, it's often portrayed that the Serenos and the whites usually have an alliance. So when they
Uh,
riot, do the whites automatically jump in, or is that just kind of like
no,
misperception?
misconception,
Okay.
misconception.
Okay.
Now, when they say alliance, it's not like they're buddy buddy, like high fiving each other, putting each other on each other's shoulders. It's more of a, hey, if we're Southerners and we got into it with the blacks and we're on lockdown, can you do us a favor and start sliding us stuff under the door, whether it's a
Okay.
weapon, whether it's drugs, whether it's a kite? And when you whites are on lockdown, we'll do you the favor and we'll slide you some. That makes sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But then at the same time, the Southerners and the whites, they've had their battles, right, against each other.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
Um, and, and the whites and the blacks. I seen that on Bravo Yard. There was a white crip back then. I don't know about now, man. Everything's changed, but there was a white crip. And my old partners that have been around a long time, they said, "Hey, man, get ready. They're gonna go off on him
Mm.
simply for being a white crip." They looked at
Yeah.
him like as a race traitor or whatever.
Mm.
And yeah, sure enough, they rioted.
Wow. Yeah, now when guys like that come in, white Crips, white Bloods, and they don't go to
Yeah,
PC and they walk the main line, they did earn a lot of respect for doing that.
like they are considered their own. Who they're running with, they're considered like, hey, yeah, he's one of us for sure. Like when it kicks
Okay.
off, we're all gonna kick it off.
Mm. Okay.
But like maybe the other people, like me as a young CO, I see a white Crip. It left me kind of confused, right? Like I didn't get it. I don't understand that background. I didn't understand. It's kind of like, okay, it's a white Crip. This is different. It's like a unicorn, you know?
Right.
Something rare.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you're asking
Now,
me
have you
good
ever
questions,
seen?
man.
Oh yeah. I'm really intrigued by all the different dynamics inside of the Cali system. It's unlike any prison system. It's really, really different.
The state system, yeah, California.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, in your time, have you ever seen a black Serrano?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. So that's kind of crazy to me. So if he's a black Serrano and the Serrano take off on the blacks, he
He's
joins
gonna
in
go.
with the Serranos?
Absolutely.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yep.
But the blacks don't see him as a race trader the same way the
No,
whites would see a white Crip as a race trader.
Correct.
Wow. Okay. And one other question. You know how a lot of Asians run Crips on the street, but when they go inside, do they still run Crip or they run other or something like that?
Tell you the truth, now that you mentioned it, I never seen the Asian Crip.
Oh, you haven't?
I've seen Asians, but they run with the others.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever seen an Asian Crip.
Okay. Yeah, I know it's like supposed to be kind of, some of them like on the street they have whole systems from what I heard.
Yeah, man, it's just it's hard. You have to understand there's been so many major changes in the California prison system from the past to now. It's kind of hard to put somebody up to date. It's like some of our minds are still stuck in the past of how things should be, and that's not how it is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of conflicting.
Right. So one other thing, keep getting these questions as we talking. Like as a guard, like how do y'all know who's who? Like if like for example, when you doing with Bloods and Crips, how do you know who's a Crip and who's a Blood? Because y'all black. I mean, how do y'all make that determination? You don't?
So I just told you guys that one of the first major changes I seen is there was a lawsuit that said we can no longer slam races, meaning we can no longer lock down races as a whole because they didn't like it. The inmates were complaining that, hey, I'm a Mexican, but I'm not that type of Mexican. I didn't get involved in that shit. What do I have to get locked down for? Mm-hmm. Or the black would be like, hey, I'm a Blood. I'm not a Crip. Why am I getting locked down for? So we were like, hey, I don't know who the fuck is who, man. Like, So back in the day, we used to have construction paper, different colors. And we used to put it on the cell door that let us know what race was in there. So it was blue for yellow for others and white for whites. Well, some fucking Office of Inspector General, some fucking politician came down and told us, hey, you guys cannot have those colored placards. You're racially identifying or racially segregating them. So they took them off. And that was our way of not opening the wrong door so they wouldn't accidentally fucking fight and kill each other.
Right.
And everybody had a white placard with their name. So, yeah, of course, certain doors got open that weren't supposed to get open. And then we had to look really hard to see the last name, the gang they were from. It was just a fucking pain in the ass.
Wow.
It's just dumb. People come up with dumb ideas and start enforcing them.
Hey, can I ask you, brother, what year did you go home?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, I got out of I was a CO, bro. I was a prison guard. I got out in last year, 1 year ago.
That's when you stopped being a CO?
1 year ago, man. December 1st, I quit. I threw in the towel.
Damn, where can I ask what prisons you were at?
I was at Centinela for 8 years down south, and then Donovan in San Diego for 8 years.
You really did a tour. Like you was really a real CO. That's 16 years.
The first 8 years I was a CO, and then the last 2 I was a sergeant and a lieutenant. So I kind of I got the taste of the higher ups, man. I didn't like it. It's grimy.
What's up, Dirty?
What's going on, man? What's up, Dirty? What's up, Flock?
Hey, sorry guys, my phone decided to do a fucking upgrade in the middle of a live right now.
Don't trip, man. We're doing magic shows, fucking entertaining the crowd.
What's up with it though, man? Yeah, hey, Dirty Weather. I'm surprised you haven't tapped into his channel before. He got some
Private
pretty good.
perspective.
No, that prison guard.
Oh yeah, I think that makes it more genuine though. The fact that
Yeah,
I'm talking to him, that make it a little bit more genuine because
For sure,
like
for
I've
sure.
ran into a bunch of people that are like COs or former COs that are in the chats or they might got a channel, but no, like no, hell no. Like 16 years, that's enough to become I've seen lieutenants in less than half that. So like that's something. I mean, like everything about a CO. Like, were you ever goon squad? Like, did you raise
No,
that?
no, I wasn't Goon Squad, man. I was on the SWAT team, the crisis response team. Like the SWAT team, like a hostage negotiator and all that other good shit.
Did you have a pod, a unit you worked, all that good stuff?
I mean, when you're brand new, they throw you on that level 4 yard. When you're brand new, you're gonna have to make your rounds. I'd say, um,
So it's
but yeah,
safe
I
to
mean,
say it's safe to say the motivation from your channel come from the injustices and things that you seen inside that you didn't agree with.
yeah, I'm passionate about it, man. I'm passionate about it, and I got from my military brother. I was in the army before that, and they taught me right. They taught me to take care of your troops. They taught me,
Yeah.
The injustices of that group. They're selling themselves out for money, and it's like that's never cool nowhere, man. But I had to leave in order to speak out on this because I people would have retaliated against me, man. The higher ups, they would have fucking fired me.
I could see why.
But it's
There's
good,
a
man.
there's
It's been
there,
worth it shedding the
have
light.
you connected with the CO that was there? I was in Salinas Valley. I did 20 years, but I was in
God
Salinas
damn.
Valley. Yeah, and there was a CO that was part of the Green Wall that I specifically remember being a part of. But we connected on Twitter, and like he wrote a book about the Green Wall and all that. Have you connected with him?
Talking about what the fuck's his last name?
Ledekiers, maybe something like that.
And he was part
But
of
he
the
wrote
Green Wall, or he wrote the.
No, he was part of it, but he ended up like having a come to Jesus moment and changed his mind and then spoke out about it because like that Green Wall shit, that was like playing blackjack against some motherfuckers that got all the cards and know them all. Like we couldn't fight back against them when we was there, and they was doing foul
I hear
shit.
you. No, I haven't. I hear you. No, I haven't talked to that dude. I know who you're talking about. I haven't talked to that guy. Yeah, I know about the Green Wall. Like as far as there was a touchdown at Centinela and Donovan up there.
You talking about when the feds came in?
He was a CO. He was a CO. Yeah, he got fucking fired for a few years.
Hey, so you was in Centinela when the feds came through?
I was where?
In Centinela when the feds came through?
Well, I touched down in Centinela in early 2007. What year did you leave Salinas Valley?
I left Salinas Valley in 2005.
And that's the day that you paroled?
No. I made my rounds. From Salinas Valley, I went to Solano. From Solano to Folsom to Calipat, Vacaville,
Oh man,
Solano again, Tracy. Yeah, I made my rounds, man.
What's up with Calipat, man? Wild?
Oh my God! Like when I got there, a Southsider had just got killed. I guess he kicked off a riot because he didn't want to do something. But anyhow, they're searching the whole prison. As soon as I get there from getting shipped from Folsom to there, I get a phone like real quick because I came with a butt full of tobacco.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, they're talking about they're searching the prisons and all the yards, and I just got this phone.
Hey, Lucky Loco, my email is png pngmedianews@gmail.com. I'm trying to put it in the chat, but it's not showing up. So it's pngmedianews@gmail.com. Sorry to interrupt you, Dirty.
So your name is Lucky Loco?
No.
Mine?
Lucky
Oh.
Yeah.
Local in the chat was asking.
No,
No,
my name's
no.
Hector Bravo.
Hector Bravo. Okay, man. I'll make sure I won't forget that. My name is Dirty
Yeah.
Weather 916.
Nice to meet you, man. Yeah, dude. Like towards the end, that shit got so corrupt, and on our side, man, I had to bounce. I got a daughter. I chose that shit over the job, man. I had
Hey,
to bounce.
I've never met nobody like you. I'm fascinated. I ain't gonna lie.
It cost me my career, but I don't care. You know what I mean?
I care. Like, damn. Hey, look, I go into prisons. I play softball against like the inmates.
Yeah.
Like it would have been my third time last Saturday, but it rained. But like that's my calling. Like that's the people I left behind. When I went home, I left my comrades behind. And it's crazy to some people to hear that, damn, he out here, YouTuber, been on TV and all that shit. You trying to go back in prison? Like that don't make sense. But them is my peoples. So I
It
go
makes
back in.
sense.
Them the ones that understand. Like a lot of people be like, give back to the kids. It's about the kids. Okay, that's fine and dandy, but they ain't fully understanding the spiel that I'm putting down because it come from experience that they ain't experienced yet. But if
Right.
I'm talking to some people that experience what I experienced, they come from where I come from, they get the most of what I have to offer as a person that been through the struggle.
Facts. I'm a recovering alcoholic, man. I got 13 years of sobriety, but I still go back to the rehab that I went to, and I still go share my story just to give back, man, because they need to hear it.
Do you have a specific story that happened that changed the way you viewed? Because like they teach you, like when you're a CEO, like you're pretty much a superhero, and they got two types of CEOs: ones that do their 8 and hit the gate, and those that feel like it's their job to make our time harder. Were
Right.
you one of them CEOs at one time? Because I know you may have changed, but at one time, were you one of them CEOs that were like gung ho and was on our ass and shit, and then had to change your heart?
I was new. Yeah, I was new. I was young. I was 22 years old. Just got out of the army, man. And it's not that I was a dick, but I was trying to find drugs. I was trying to find weapons. Yeah, I wanted to know who was who, gang names, gang locations. And then you start realizing that it's not worth it. Your higher up start telling you, hey, you're doing too much. Relax, pump the brakes. So you kind of lose the love for that. You know what I mean? And
Hell
then you
yeah.
kind of pump the brakes. But yeah, man, I was new for sure. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. And you know, I got tested a couple times, man. That's not if you're new, you're gonna get tested.
Yep, off
So
top.
yeah, I got tested.
Yeah, if you don't get tested, the danger about not getting tested is that you don't know exactly how you're gonna perform when it's
Yeah.
real time. And,
Point.
and when
The
look, I just got out the hole, and the Southsiders when I was in Solano, when they rushed, they was under escort and broke escort and rushed all the blacks.
damn.
They was under escort by one CO. And he had only been there like 2 weeks. He didn't know what the fuck to do. When all of a sudden the 5 Southsiders you escorting all of a sudden is rushing all the blacks over against the wall by the building. He panicked. He panicked. And because of that situation, when I bumped into him years later, like we're bonded by that tragic situation because he was so new and didn't know what to do. So it's important that you get tested so you know how you're gonna respond when the heat is on.
That's another fucked up thing about the department is these young kids, these young COs that are coming straight from working at Starbucks, man. They're not realizing what they're walking into. And you have my higher ups leading them into the slaughter, telling them, "Nah, it's okay, man. It's okay. They're your friends." You know what I mean? And you know, with prison's prison, man,
Shit.
you're gonna have all kinds of different people. and they would get assaulted. Like they would get fucked up, dude. They would get fucked up.
They're either gonna get assaulted or they're gonna get verbal. They're gonna get mentally assaulted because the game that the inmates gonna run on them is gonna get to their head real quick.
All of the above, man. They were fucking them over left and right. All of the above, right? So here I am with some experience sitting back, not even trying to bust a grape or anything, just looking at all this wrong in the department. And then, did you ever hear about the administration mixing the GPs and the SNYs together and them rioting?
Oh yeah, come on, man. I was there. I wasn't in. I walked out of prison in 2018 and had a message, and that message was that what its administration was up to and what they was about to do. And I spoke on that in 2018, June 10th.
Hey, did you miss? So you missed the COVID in prison?
Oh my God, I'm so glad I did.
You're lucky, man. They would have put your life in danger. Literally.
Yeah.
They were mixing people they shouldn't have been mixing, and like all of us were telling the higher up, stop doing that. Stop mixing them. Stop.
There's a name for that.
Worse.
There's a name for that. Where they was forcing, it was like getting people sick, like like putting people in shit and forcing them to get sick so everybody can get sick and then they can resume program.
That or so they could die and collect the money from the fucking feds.
Oh, that's so dirty.
They were collecting money from the feds. What do you mean by that? How's that work?
You know how the hospitals on the streets were getting money for so many COVID deaths that they all started everybody started dying and everything became a COVID death. They were getting kickbacks from the feds.
Oh yeah.
So the fucking CDCR was doing the same shit. People were getting paid.
Hey, Flacco, and this comes from the other side.
Oh yeah.
Hector, let me ask you this: during your 16 years, you ever seen like a guard witness some real fucked shit, like somebody get stabbed and just be like right then and there, fuck it, I quit, or come out the next day say, fuck it, I'm not doing that more?
I never did witness that. Has that happened? Absolutely. Oh yeah, I've heard the stories at Calipad, at Mule Creek.
Don't count out Salinas. Don't count out Salinas Valley.
Oh, hey, Salinas Valley, High Desert, to me, I think are the most
trying to get you in, Whack. Hold on.
And let me ask you one more thing, Hector. You know how sometimes, I don't know if you listen to other prison channels, but you know how sometimes you hear people tell stories how the guards will pop doors, set people up. When you hear stuff like that, what are your thoughts?
Look, yes, that probably has happened. Gladiators, wars, corporate, right? But I can honestly say I accidentally opened the wrong door one time. That's because I was hungover and I wasn't looking at the buttons. Luckily, nothing happened. And I was in the hole. But yeah, it can happen. It can happen on purpose or it can happen on accident for sure.
Okay.
But you get in trouble. You get in trouble for doing that.
So that's one side of the perspective, because PNG, I know you ain't never been in prison. So from the prisoner side perspective is that shit is real as fuck, and it happens with Mexicans on Mexicans. It happens with Mexicans on blacks and whites on blacks, depending on the prison that you in. But that shit is real, and they will pop your door in High Desert.
Hey, Dirt, that shit happens a lot, bro. When I was in Tatooine Shoe, homie, they put me out there. That's when the shoe yards wasn't dog kennels yet. They put me out there on the yard with all the skinheads one day for yard. Of course, I couldn't tell them, like, nah, I'm not going out there to that yard. They were like, yard? I'm like, yep. And I seen, and the homie was like, wait, don't go out there, cuz. I'm like, nah. You know,
hey, Dirty Weather, which one? What was the worst prison you've been to? Wasn't it Salinas Valley, if I'm not mistaken?
Easy call.
I paroled from High Desert.
Easy call, Salinas Valley, but I'm gonna say that the whole year I was in Calipats, my nuts was in my stomach. So Salinas and Calipats.
I was in Corcoran when the feds were up in there, right? We were indicting all the guys, man. So I just got at the tail end of it, man. Just the tail end of it. It was still pretty bad, but then they started changing it as soon as the feds were there, man.
Was you talking about the mid to late 90s?
They're playing games over there.
You talking about mid to late 90s?
Yeah, you know.
So
Yeah, 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 yeah.
you talking about after you talking about during the war games and the shit in the shoe and shit.
Yeah, did you know an individual? You probably know this guy. I know you know him. Me and him
Boom.
became close up in there. Seville Villain. He's originally from Compton, but he caught his case in Sacramento.
Yeah, I remember you asked me that was Marcelli and Chino when I was doing the layover.
So Hector, since you started your channel, have you gotten any type of negative pushback from the CDC about the stuff you're
No,
saying?
no, but I don't trust them. Like I
Okay.
wouldn't doubt if they're planning something up their sleeves to come after me for sure. But
Yeah.
I make sure to speak documented facts. I
Okay.
documented a lot before I left.
Is it undisclosed information?
It's facts. It's facts. You know, I was a public information officer, dude. The PIO, the warden's right hand man. So I sat in on a lot of those closed doors behind meetings. They were fucking grimy.
Damn, so
Uh,
you seen when they was talking shit about the person they was about to do they interview or whatever committee.
yeah,
And
bro.
then they go, man, that's fucked up.
That was horrible. Yeah, it was horrible.
Like they already know what they about to do before you even come in there.
Absolutely, 100%. Not only
See,
that, they
a
sabotage
lot of the people that's watching, they might not understand the significance of being the warden's right hand man. That means you get privileged, top of the crop information,
Well, this
and
is what
so that's
when
the
people
horse's mouth.
when people would ask me, "Hey, how is it being the PIO?" and I would say, it's like being Hitler's right hand man. Sure, it has its perks, but do you really want to be Hitler's right hand man?
Damn.
Hey Hector, let me ask you this, Hector. As a prison guard, what did you all think when y'all first heard of the end of hostilities? What was y'all take on it?
I thought it was gonna be bullshit. I thought that it was gonna be a fake, a ploy to get out of the shoe. Um, I thought they were immediately gonna get out and start killing each other, which they didn't do it immediately. It took a couple years.
Hmm.
Um, you know, but I've talked to those dudes in person, and they don't want to watch the ones I talk to. They don't want to watch the world burn. You know what I mean? They're just trying to make money. They're businessmen. They're what do you call it, man? They're criminal gang members for sure. But they don't necessarily want war. But they're doing acts of war, which is fucking crazy.
He's doing all right, Smokey. Doing good, Smokey. Hey, is Whack Deuce up in here?
Yeah, I'm right here. What's happening?
Okay, what's up with Whack Deuce, man? You got
What's
some
up,
questions,
Flops?
man? Man, it's been a while, brother. How you doing?
Oh man, Trina, how you doing? Everything good?
Man, happy holidays to you, brother.
Yeah, likewise. I see you got Big Dirt in the house.
Yep,
You know
yep.
what
Saturday.
I mean? Big Mike out there in Chicago
Hey,
doing his
hey,
thing.
hey, hey, let me give this specific person flowers while I can. So y'all, everybody know, like most of the time, most people know, like I've been in prison genre a very long time. I would, I digress. I might have started the term prison genre, but as far as like the whole movement, like Big Herc and Josh, they clearly came before me, and Nate Dogg was right there side by side with me.
Yeah,
But there's people that was there that were silent angels when I first started, and PNG was one of them.
for real.
Like I'm sitting here like PNG, you talking about everything else, but like, bro, I respect the hell out of you because the conversation that we just had about a week ago about the top 10 original like people that was in the prison genre, man, it's crazy as shit. But there were two people who names that didn't come up that should have came up that was there because I clearly remember, and that's you. And crazy as it sound, it's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, PNG News Media is the one that got me started, guys. So if people don't know that, I wouldn't
What?
be doing YouTube if it wasn't for PNG.
What? I didn't know that.
Yep, that's a
I didn't
fact.
know that.
I always give PNG his respects. He always has that coming, man. You
Oh,
know?
thanks.
Well, he got and he knows his history. He might be out there in Chi-Town, but he know that CDC history, bro. You know what I mean? So
Thanks.
Now what?
the conversations me and him had has always been enlightening. You know what I'm saying? Even for somebody that ain't never been a part of that life. You know what I mean? He knows his shit. So
Now, hey, Wax Goose. Now, were you a Calipatria before? You were, huh?
no, I never did Calipat, bro. The most well, of course, I started out at Donovan because it was reception in '97 when I first hit. But the furthest south I did my time was Tehachapi and Lancaster,
Okay.
and
Hey,
then
they're about to close down Tehachapi.
Hey Hector, so check it out, right? Donovan's been fucked up way before you got there. What you say you got there? What year did you get there?
2014, 2015.
Oh yeah, see, yeah. Hey, check it out, bro. I caught a violation in '05, and
Damn.
I knew they were gonna give me. This is back when they had screening still, and it wasn't no 10-day violations. They were giving motherfuckers years and shit. So I knew I was going to get at least 10 months because I got caught with another gang member. So I knew screening wasn't going to fuck with me. They were going to give me 10 months at least. So I go see screening. They give me 10 months flat. I'm like, all right, fuck it, man. As soon as I got off the bus in Arnold, because I had parole from High Desert, but we had been on lockdown because we had got into it with the Woods,
Yeah.
and so when I get back to Donovan, the reception, I'm like, okay, cool, you know what I mean? Fuck it, I'll do, you know what I mean? I know I'm not going to leave the reception yard. They're not going to send a level 4 inmate that's on a violation out to a level 4 because it was already packed, you know what I mean? But at least I'll be able
Yeah.
to do it on the reception yard. Fuck no, man. 20 minutes after I got to R&R, the sergeant came and snatched me up and was like, you know what, man? We're not trying to have them white crip problems here, man. You're going to the hole. I'm like, what? He was like, yeah, we don't, the warden don't want you here. And I'm like, what the fuck? I ended up doing my whole 10 months in Ad Seg just
God
because
damn.
they didn't want them problems there, bro.
Hey, so
Donovan's wild.
Yeah.
Wax, what happened? Finish saying what happened when they let you out the yard with the skinhead.
What time?
I like that first time, the one you was just talking about.
Well, you know what? Hey, you know what? This is what I will say, right? This is my opinion. Dirk can speak on it. I know Dirk can speak on it. I know Flacco can speak on it, and they might have differing opinions than me. But this is what I will say. As far as the white dudes go, I think the ones that gave me the most problems were the NLRs. When they got snatched up off the yard, and I think it was '99 when they all got I think it was '99, right, Flacco, when they got validated.
Yeah, 99. Jump in,
Yep.
Chango. I'm gonna send you the link.
Hey, when they got when they all got when I woke up one morning and I seen a gang of cells empty, and I asked my neighbor what was going on, and they were like, "Oh, they snatched up the NLRs." Boy, I said a couple prayers that day, like, "Good Lord, thank you, Jesus."
Hey, you guys don't.
You said
You know,
99, right?
we got one of the most diversified lives I've had in a long time right now, guys. We got a little bit of everything on here.
You
That's
guys
what I
don't
said.
remember? You guys don't remember when the whites started the USAS, United Skins, Aryans, some shit, and then they started getting blasted off the yards?
Hell
Big,
I
big,
no.
don't.
big.
I
Stick
don't
on it.
think I was the. I don't see. I paroled in May of '04 from High Desert. I caught a violation in September of '05, and I got out July of '06, and then I gave my K, and I didn't go back. I gave my K number back in '08.
Okay, so there was this USAS gang, and they got fucking word from the brand to fucking just remove everybody. Oh, it was fucking bad, dude. Every prison, everywhere, it was bad for them.
Well, hey, whatever happened? Hey, whatever happened? Hey, Flacco, you might know more about this than any of us. Because you were back there in the shoe a lot. Whatever happened to the brand dudes, the FTB? I mean, the NLR dudes, the FTB. They
They
went
were
against the
mostly up.
brand.
They were mostly up in the Bay, right? And a
Yeah,
lot of them were getting fucking hung in their cells, man. You know what I'm saying? For a
yeah.
minute, they were getting hung. It was pretty bad. They kind of just died out for a minute, but they were the ones that were just against the AB. That was like when the NLR kind of had that split.
Right. So how many of them was there though?
There wasn't that many.
Yeah, that's
You
what I
know what I'm
figured.
saying? They really didn't catch much energy.
Yeah. Yep.
Because the NLR was like kind of like That was YA, but it was blessed by an Aryan Brotherhood member.
Yeah,
You know what
by
I'm saying?
youngster,
Yep. And
Yeah.
and they just kind of like, I remember when they were on the whole, man, like they just came out, and a lot of them like were like, it was weird because it's like they weren't in contact with each other like you think, you know. Like
Right.
some of them were lost in these yards fucking for years and stuff, just doing their own thing and shit. But they had their tattoos on them, so they were just, next thing you know, they were just all getting validated. You
Yeah.
know,
No. Yeah.
if
Real
any,
shit. Like my first squabble at Donovan when I got to Donovan in '97 was with two of them. And
Damn.
I remember, and it was crazy because it was like one was a youngster. You could tell he was just like me, like you know what I mean, fresh. But then the other one, he was probably in his early 30s. You know what I mean? And so the youngster, I really didn't even, I didn't even trip over him. Just gave him a 2-piece and sat him down real quick. But the other one, I mean, he knew what he was doing, bro. You know what I mean? So I give him like I'll never be one of the ones that down talk the woods and all that because uh, you know, uh, people might beg to differ with me, but this is what I believe. I think the most devious demos that I've ever seen put down on a yard has been the whites. You know what I mean?
oh,
Yeah.
when they go to remove one of their own, they're fucking chopping them up, especially if they have some funny style charges.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you
Hey
know,
Hector, sorry to interrupt. Machete got a question he wanted me to ask you. He asked it a little while ago. He says, "Ask Hector how much contact he has with COs, and is he actually getting the real dirt from them, or do he go about bad since he quit on them?"
Oh, I got contacts everywhere, man. I don't even ask them for information. They're just telling me. But I'm not asking them. I'm not saying, "Hey, what's going on here?" They just tell me, and I, depending on how serious it is, I'll sit on it or I'll speak on it, um, or I'll listen to other people talk on it, and then I'm like, okay, that just confirms it. But
Okay.
yeah,
Like
Does that
you're
I'll
does
you're
never
that
ask
help?
those
Does
fools.
that help you feel like you're not alone? Like when you know when people giving you information, like does that help you feel like it's other people that felt like I felt?
Well, you got to understand, man. Like you guys don't see the DMs or the emails. They're saying thank you for speaking out for what's really happening. They're not cool. They're not cool with everything that's happening with the mixing of the GPs and the S and Ys. They're not. And one misconception that I shattered when I left was that, hey, all green are agreeable, all green are the same. No, we're going to show the inmates that because we got to show that we're united on the front. But
right.
there's in-house fucking fighting everywhere. Drama, gossip,
I mean,
rumors, backstabbing.
Well, hey,
It's
that sound.
everywhere.
Hey, that sounds like Lancaster. Hey, literally in the early two. I know you probably heard about this. Hector was Lancaster in the early 2000s. I was there literally when the FBI literally came on the yard and
Yeah.
arrested a CO at the podium, put her in handcuffs at the podium, and marched her ass up out of that building. That shit was. I thought that shit was a movie, man. Like, what the fuck am I
that
watching
that
right
that
now?
shit was the shot heard across CDC. The
You know
feds
what
that
I
came
mean?
through Lancaster because that shit was off the hook.
I heard
Yeah,
about
No.
hey,
that.
hey, hey! I put it like I won't go into detail. Like motherfuckers can check my channel out and see my couple of my stories that I done put up there. But look, man, I'm gonna tell you like this: whatever you wanted on that yard, like we were doing no mail outs, bro. Everything was done in cash. I'll just put it like that.
Damn. The feds have stepped in a few places. High Desert, Calipat,
I
Donovan
thought
for
they stepped
sure.
in. I thought they
So,
stepped in and Centinela
so,
too.
so Centinela, Salinas Valley. Yeah, they'll set up shop. They'll set up shop, man. They'll have a fucking office in the front. It's just weird. You don't know who they are.
Trying to
They're
get
the
you, Chango.
feds.
I see you, Chango. Hold on, I'm trying to get you. Good guys.
Hey, do you be liking to hear stories how like inmates got over on COs? Like you be like, that's how they did it. Damn it! Like, do you ever have moments like that?
No, I mean, I know I'm not going to say you got to be a weak minded individual to get manipulated, but that's how I feel about it. Like, um, uh, people say that I could have got turned. I don't believe so. Fuck no. I would tell you, I'd rather be homeless and without shoes and eating out of a trash can than ever bring anything to you. And that's how I feel about that. Um, but in the same token, I also don't. I wouldn't want to work for my higher ups anymore because of the corruption. So I'm not willing to sell myself out.
So, who do you consider yourself the voice of?
The people that cannot speak.
The COs that can't speak, or
Well, you
the
got
inmates?
COs, you got COs that can't speak, you got inmates that can't speak, and you got the family members of inmates that have been saying the same shit, but nobody was listening. But now I'm kind of just reaffirming, like, hey, yeah, what they're saying is fucking true.
That's
I
what's
get,
up.
hey, Dirt. And I feel what you're saying too. So, hey, Hector, I guess this is like along the lines of what he's saying is like, so, like, are you for like, do you speak out for the guards that can't speak up, or do you also feel the inmates' plight too, that from all the dirty shit that you've seen done to the inmates?
So check this out. If you, everybody on the outside that's never been to prison could probably think all inmates are the same, right? But
Right,
not all inmates are the same. Some people can be like, if you're on the S&Y yard, you're all bad news. But that's not the truth. I've seen a lot of good dudes go to S&Y because of bad politics.
right,
So I'm just shining light, like, hey man, there's dudes that have been rehabilitated. There's dudes that want to come home. There's dudes that are pain in the asses, right? But I'm
right.
just letting them. Not everybody, there's different fucking people. Um,
But if I got a cell phone and I just got this phone, really like to communicate with my family and my peoples, does that make me a bad guy in your eyes?
I wasn't even tripping on cell phones when I was a lieutenant, bro. I was like, kind of just, I, I wasn't trying to do much anymore towards the end. Nobody was, you know what I mean? Um,
Hey,
Okay.
so how do you feel about all that work you did though? Getting them phones and running them drills, and now they got tablets in the cell. They can just call whoever, whenever.
yeah, I feel like a pawn. To be honest with you, I was a pawn in the military. I was pawn CDCR, being told what to do by the higher ups. I don't like it. Um,
Good looking out, Fish Slayer.
towards the end, me and my partners would say the inmates are not even the enemy anymore, man. That's the truth. We don't even have to look out for the inmates. We have to look out for our higher ups. They all agree with that.
But you do feel that CDC changed around like 2018, 19, somewhere around there. Like CDC changed entirely to where it wasn't like nothing of the old days.
It changed around like 2013, 2014, 2015. Yeah, 2016. Yeah, it changed fucking. It got crazy.
Well, I'm so glad I wasn't there to be a part of it, gentlemen.
I'd have to, hey, homeboy, I have to disagree with you though. You
On what
know,
part?
as far as I know what the sergeant said. I've been watching him for a minute, and hey, my name's Chango, and I'm from San Jose. And the comment you made about the cell phone, I mean, you're trying to look out for your loved ones. I'm all for all that, right?
Uh
But
huh.
whether it's in the feds or the state, right? Policy is policy. You know what I mean? And especially phones that's going on in the CDC and the feds. When you're trying to get your life together,
Thanks,
taking
Fish
all
Slayer,
them
Sloppy
classes,
Joe.
huh?
No, saying thanks to Fish Slayer and Sloppy Joe. Man, Chango's up in here, man.
Oh,
Hey,
sorry about that,
Flacco,
guys.
Block hit him, hit him. He talking nonsense. Block that fool.
I'm just saying that to if you want to be rehabilitated, I mean, I'm all for you want to break the rules and all that. That's all fine and dandy, but there's consequences for that. And especially if you're doing that, life sentence or trying to get off that life sentence or letting the law change and all that.
I understand that, and there's a lot of people that don't have a life sentence,
No,
and they're hell bent on making their life better while they're in there.
no, I understand that. Yeah,
And I can see how somebody, like, I know many people that have life sentences now. Like, I just got off a prison call before I jumped on this live. Like, I
yeah.
know many people that got life, and what I would say is that their mind frame is entirely different from somebody that's short term. It's entirely different.
No, no, that's understandable. Yes.
But at the same time, being somebody that's been home 5 years now, longer than I've been home in my adult life, I would say, looking back, man, that was rules are rules, but some rules made to be broken if you trying to stay relevant in anything.
No, I know you're absolutely. That's why I said in the beginning.
But I understand probably what your message is, and I don't want to. I just tend to add reality to it. Like,
No,
everything
no.
ain't all peaches and cream
Oh
and
no, no.
cherries.
Especially in prison. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff going on in there.
Because I did my,
You got it's a different lifestyle.
I did my 18 years, man, and I did my shit
Damn.
like I did my shit like I hate to say stupidly, but I was active the whole time. Went back, still active, and there's a lot of shit that I wish I could have did different.
Right. Well, yeah, I'm proud, bro. Glad you're out here. And being a transition.
I mean, to be honest with you, and I hate to float my boat, but my pain and transgressions is the reason there's really a prison genre that's based around people that have their own experiences, not people interviewing people getting their shit. No, I came
Right.
home in 2018
Mm-hmm.
and said I'm going to start this shit, and the prison genre came soon after me.
Yeah. That's what's up, man.
But it didn't come easy. It come from like a lot of experiences that where I was lucky to come out of it.
Yeah. That's what's up.
Let me
So
pose.
but my struggle, to talk to you specifically, like my struggle has always been like I never felt like nobody's role model. Like I never
Right.
felt like that. So I just felt like I'm gonna just tell my prison stories, and you're gonna have to get the lessons from them from yourself.
No, yeah, you've been there. You've done that. And it's about that change. And showing these other people, these young people, a different message. Positive message.
Not just young though. Not just
Yeah, no, of
young.
course, even the people that are struggling still. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
that's
absolutely
that's
right.
that would be like my, I ain't gonna say my weak spot, but I've talked to more adults than kids in my life because after doing 20 years, like shit. Like how do I communicate with this kid? But I know how to communicate with this grown ass man.
Yep,
So when I go into prison and play softball against the inmates, like we gather, we lock hands, hold arms, and hug in like in a big circle, and we pray together, and
that's
then
what's
we
up.
give our testimony.
Yep,
And I'm going into the same prison I walked out of 5 years ago. And,
yep,
and and when I walked out of that prison, they seen me on TV like less than 5 months later, and then again, and then again and again. So then when I walk back in 5 years later, they remember me. Whether it's that guy on that basketball court that shot all them 3 points, or that guy that used to hit all them homers, or that guy that was a hustling motherfucker, or that football, like they remembered me. And those are the experiences that I go through. And then when I give my
Yes, I
testimony,
BBK.
like it's so moving, man. I wish I could have a phone in there to record that shit.
no, I get you. Yep, yeah, it gets emotional.
And people
Yeah.
that's inside want to know that we ain't forgot about them. Like people go home and forget about the people that's behind.
No,
Hey, all the guys on the panel who've done time, let me pose this question to all you all. What's it like for you all right now to be having a conversation, chopping up with a prison guard? And to you, Hector, what's it like for you
Thanks,
to be
Gabe.
chopping up with cats, who've done time? What's this experience like for you all?
I think it's kind of, you know what, man. I think like it shows maturity in a lot of us, man, and it shows the direction of which we're trying to go. We don't forget where we come from, but we're kind of opening doors to different people, different ways of life, and just not being judgmental. We're in prison. A lot of times you have to really sit there and just stick to your group. You're not out there having, interactions with every other group. You may from time to time, right? But now we can live life a little bit different, and you start to see a little bit more common, common grounds, as opposed to differences.
Hell yeah. Because one thing about doing time is you realize all police ain't bad. Like you be
Yeah.
some real human ass police, and then I ain't never been a police, but I'm pretty sure that they realize that all inmates ain't bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
What about you,
Yeah, I
Ed?
mean,
Yeah, I mean, you
it,
See,
gotta.
that-
it,
see,
One
in
thing
see,
there,
about
I
people
talked
don't
to
know
them.
this. People don't really know this, right? Because this was a long time ago. But I'm one of the first ones to interview Hector. Man, I knew his channel
Yeah.
was going to blow because he did an episode where he was exposing what was going on with CDCR, and it made me respect him that he was willing to come out and say the things that he was willing to say.
That's big
So that's what
balls. Hey,
you
hey,
know.
Flacco, don't even
Yeah,
downplay it. That's big balls right there because
yeah,
we know what they capable of.
yeah.
So in there, I
that.
used to talk to the inmates like, man, before before the badge or before the blues, like, hey, we're man, let's talk it out. But you got to understand, as a lieutenant, you get a little bit more respect as a lieutenant, man. Where you're able to have man-to-man conversations during 115 hearings, RVR hearings, and you're like, hey, man, You tell them, hey, there's dudes that are getting action, lifers, man. Go home and never look back. And they're like, I know. So you just talk to them like regular people. I don't
Man,
think I'm better than
Yeah,
anybody.
hey, you know what's crazy is so my violation in Donovan in '05. I've been sitting here last couple minutes trying to remember his name, but there was a sergeant, little short white dude with glasses, kind of pudgy. He was like a dork, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
he was the AdSec sergeant in building I want to say building 7, I think. But anyways, well, he would always like motherfuckers would always clown him, and so he'd turn pink and he'd like tear your house up when you were at shower at yard or whatever. And I remember one day my celly had got into it with him, and he came in our cell while we were at showers and ripped down all the pictures and shit off the wall. And so we ended up flooding the tier and shit. And Asbury, that was his name. And
Sergeant Asbury,
yeah.
he
And
was a lieutenant. He retired.
okay, so check this out. He so this was right before I paroled for my violation. So I get out like a week later. 2 days later, I go to fucking that little Soak City in Chula Vista with my wife and my kids. And I run in. I'm walking down the thing. I'm not even paying attention. I'm going to like a water slide or something with my daughter or something. And I hear somebody call my name, and I look up, and it's this motherfucker.
you talking
And
about
I
nickname?
had a
You talking about
moment of like, man, this
nickname or
little
last name?
motherfucker right here. Hey, that motherfucker was like, what's going on? He shook my hand. He was like, hey, man, you need anything? I'm like, nah, man, what's good? He was like, let me take you over here to introduce you to my wife and my kids. And I'm like, yeah, it's good. I'm here with my wife. Yeah, woo. And in that moment, I'm thinking like, damn, like, you know what I mean? Like, but we're all human beings at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you put that uniform on for 8 hours and you go home and you deal with regular shit too. You know what I mean?
I got
Hey,
a
I got something to say about that. So, what's up, Flacco? I said mine's Chango.
All right, bro.
Smokey.
Hey, so
Hey, who's who? Who's who here?
uh,
I know the SARS there, and homeboy that was talking that did the 18 years. I heard you talk in the
Smokey.
past. Did they block you on the channel too, right? Just to make sure I'm on the right page.
Okay,
Oh my!
You got Hector. You got Hector, who's
That's
that
talking
prison
right
guard.
now, right?
He has a channel.
No,
Okay. You have PNG News Media, right?
Okay,
He's
yes,
got a
yes.
side
I mean,
channel. He's a journalist. You have Smokey. He's he was a former homeboy as well, right? Former Northerner. You have Whack Deuce, right? You know what I'm saying? A Crip out of San Diego, right? Fucking a
is that
white
homeboy
Crip at
talking right
that.
now?
A white Crip at that. That was on those level 4
No,
yards, man.
Flacco's talking right
You know what
now.
I'm saying?
Okay,
Then
I
you have
got you. I'm just trying to get the voices together, you know?
okay.
Appreciate you.
yeah, yeah. Hey,
Go
so
ahead,
I was
Smokey.
Shit, don't count. Don't shit. Dirty weather up there too.
Yeah, I said dirty
I
weather. Dirty
Yeah,
weather.
he said the name.
Dirty weather is one of the originators of the prison genre, man. He's one of the ones that was
That hey,
doing this
that is
before a lot of us.
that is facts. I remember watching Dirt when Dirt used to be Dirt was sitting in the car, old Dusty and all that. You know what I mean?
I was homeless. Shit.
I got something about growth and dealing with law enforcement or our skills and stuff. So, I discharged my number in 2010, and then year and a half later, I got a job with U.S. Forest Service as a firefighter, right?
Yeah.
And dealing with law enforcement and stuff in that job. So one time we was on a fire in Southern California, and they fed us at one of the inmate camps, and one of the COs there recognized me from my time prior, and to have the interaction with him, like to see that I did a whole turnaround, came out that and was doing something better. You know, approached me like a man. He didn't look at me like as an ex-con or anything like that.
No.
Sometimes you got to grow up and realize that
Have you? Can I ask you? Have you made any mistakes like since you came home?
you know what soon as I came back the first year, it was like rough. You know what I mean? Getting back on the sauce again, and then, not knowing what I wanted to do. But had someone reach out to me, tell me to apply. I applied, and the U.S. government hired me as a firefighter, and that's what I've been doing ever since. Here we are, 2023. You know what I mean? I've
Oh,
moved up the
That's
leadership rank.
That's
moved
what's
up.
what's up,
up,
bro.
man.
That's
Hey,
what's
that's
up.
a fucking salute.
Yep.
Hell yeah, that's what's
And you
up,
didn't do,
man.
you didn't even do fire camp inside. You just
I didn't I didn't have that. My points were too high to, you know what I mean. So I came
so
out with the when I got that job with the mindset like, they're giving me an opportunity to better myself. I'm gonna run with it.
did
You
they
know.
did you did because here's the thing, like when you have done a stretch of time, especially like 10 years or better, when you come home, you're literally like a ghost because they can only go back so far. So
Facts.
you literally got one shot to make
Facts.
it
Yeah.
happen. Because if you fuck up, then they're gonna know that you had a history, and then it's gonna be all blurry. But when you first come home, as long as you stay out the law face, you can apply for a lot of different jobs that you probably didn't think you was able to get,
So,
and you a
Hey,
testimony of.
that's a fact right there, man. I could attest to that. Like, I do have a criminal record from back in the day, even though I was a CO, man. I've been arrested 3 times. And I've applied for some jobs since I left the department. Hey, none of that shit comes up in a background check. None of it does.
no,
And I'm like, holy
and
shit, this is cool.
even though the thing though is they'll hire you on parole. It's you got to be honest. So, like,
Hey, so
they'll think.
I wanted to finish the story and tell you about one of the times I duped the COs. So you could laugh at it because I've never been able to tell this story to a CO. Only other inmates. So when I first got to Calipat and I said they was about to come search the yards, I didn't know what the fuck to do. Like I'm new to this building. I mean, this yard. I'm in the orientation building, and they coming around searching, and they got the X-ray machines. So I told my cellie, look, I started hollowing the soap out and playing with the soap and trying to make it hollow enough to fit the phone, but it wouldn't work. It just seemed like a buff ass piece of soap, right? So then I was like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm gonna take this soap and I'm gonna put it in a soap dish and set it on the sink, like right before they come in and search the cell, right? And then I reached down and grabbed like a handful of pubic hairs and I rubbed it all, I smeared it all in the soap. This was like pubic hair soap. So when they searched the cell and me and my celly came back in, that soap was sitting right there.
Damn. Did it have the phone in it?
And it had a phone in it the whole time.
Yeah, I
Pubic
wouldn't have touched that. I wouldn't have touched that soap.
You know, you got your nice gloves and shit, your self
Nah,
such gloves.
it's not that serious. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have touched the soap.
Yeah, Toko up in here too now, guys. What's up, Toko?
Oh man. Hey, homeboy, you were talking about experiences that in prison. Like myself, I didn't really had no problems. When I was, I never been anti-police. You know what I mean? Because I looked at it. Uh, they got a job to do. I was, the SSU was on me, gang coordinators. Being from Santa Clara County, and being in the county jail there. I mean, everybody. You know what I mean? So it's a different lifestyle as far as what I mean by a different world in the county jail as far as everybody from the streets. You know what I mean? Works there and all that, and a lot of stuff going on. You go to San Quentin, you got the COs there. Being that because you are who you're part of, and the way you conduct yourself. And just like the Sarge said, it's about how you respect them. They're going to respect you. You know what I mean? And so I never really had no problems. Because I basically I have my way, to a certain extent, you know what I mean? As far as things coming in and dealing with things, things that they weren't supposed to do, you know what I mean? And then now, I come out here, I'm on the streets and I work for the county. I deal with law enforcement, I deal with prosecutors, I deal with everybody, you know what I'm saying? And the whole probation department because of my job, And so uh and especially in the community, being established in the community, having officers, just regular the sheriffs, the just regular city police. Hey, what's up, Jay? How you doing? You know what I mean? It's a different vibe, but compared to before, the SSU was on me, the gang corners on me, but they knew I had a job and I knew they had a job. It's like that cat mouse game. You know what I mean? So as when you ask the question about how it was, yeah, it's different. You know what I mean? And I can't be honest with you, I had a conversation with somebody there a while back, and someone pulled. I was just eating some ice cream, parked, and the sheriff pulled right up next to me and seeing my truck, and I got out, and he's like, "Hey, what's up, Jay?" None. I mean, this ice cream. I'm just enjoying the streets. You know what I mean? I was just sitting there minding my own business, and he just started talking to me. You know what I mean? So I guess the feeling, where compared to before and it is now, it's like, and I haven't had no problems because I'm functioning. I'm in the community active. You know what I mean? Doing what I got to do. You know what I mean? So
Hey,
that's where I'm at with for myself.
so earlier I had asked, like, had you made a mistake? And the reason why is because, like, I had left Old Folsom to go to Calipat in 2010,
Hmm.
and then I paroled from Solano in 2013. But when I fucked up and made a mistake, and they sent me back to prison, they sent me right back to Old Folsom.
Oh yeah, no,
So,
no, I haven't came back. I've been straight. You know what I mean? I haven't gotten in trouble or anything, bro.
but let me tell
You
you,
know what I mean?
let me tell you why. Let me finish it.
Oh,
Um,
my bad.
what it was is when I went back in 28, well, it was like 2017. But when I went back, that was under the wrong pretenses. So my OGs was like, they was real disappointed in me, like, for real. And then when I went home in 2018, I was like, yeah, you ain't gonna see me again, not on like this. And so
Right.
when I go back into prison, it's like I feel like I'm going back in the right way. Like they're proud of me
That's right.
now to
No, I
see.
get you. I know the feeling.
But I know the feeling of going back and that disappointment and seeing people that got life sentences that never thought they would see me again, and then seeing me come back up in there, like they really. So there's some people that really wouldn't talk to me for a long time.
Because they believed in you.
Yes, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. Hey,
Yeah.
hey,
As
hey,
far as
Dirt.
that,
Hey, Dirt.
people, nah, listen, if you heard me talking in Flacco's channel, listen, I'm a down the streets. I don't care if I get in a car accident, uh, natural causes. The hit squad comes and gets me. Somebody, you know what I mean? I'm dying on the streets no matter what, and I'm not in no. I don't look. I'm sober. Like I said, I help people with drug and alcohol. I'm certified. For my state. As far as a peer mentor and all that, and
That's what's
so
up.
I'm not. Like I said, I'm a die on the streets, and I've said this, and it's not about boasting or anything. That's how I look at it. That's how I mindset. I got me like I had a like I was functioning a certain way before when I was active when I was in the game. I'm functioning in society the way I'm supposed to do. I got my life together. I pay my bills, pay my my insurance, everything to be right here in society. Just doing what I'm supposed to do. You know what I mean? And like
Can
you
I
said,
ask? Can I ask you
it's
this?
sure, sure, sure.
Okay, so like that part, like that's the part that motivates those that are still inside.
Right, right.
But do you allow people to learn from your negative experiences too, as well?
As far
Like
as far
things that you've been through, like that you wish you would have did different. Like, do you tell stories or do you
well,
share
to be
experiences?
honest with you, I don't. I know it sounds crazy. I don't dwell on this. Here's the thing: what I was before, what makes me who I am today, and for the grace of God, my way of thinking, my foundation, and it all comes from the Lord. And
I
compared
feel that.
before,
I just feel that what you was before can help somebody not be something that you was almost going to by if you just share with them like where that crossroad was in
Oh,
your
oh
he,
yeah,
life.
oh, he has.
of course, no,
He's told the story on my channel.
yeah, of course. I said story after story, bro, and I
Yeah, man.
do,
Hey,
and in the community, I do talk to
my
people.
ignorance. Pardon my ignorance too. By the way, because
Yeah, he got one hell of a story. I'll tell you that, man.
I got a redemption story, and it's powerful, and
Yeah, it
and if
is.
you can't, if you're in the game, and whether like you talked about earlier, bro, because I deal with grown ass men too, and they're struggling with alcohol, and there's solutions for all this. You know what I mean? Substance abuse, mental health, gambling, hey, even porn. Hey, bro, I didn't even know porn was so deep. You know what I mean? But I'm just giving you examples of the way I deal with people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
in my community, you know. And I'm not just doing it where I'm at. I'm doing it, I'm going around. You know what I mean? Not
that's
just state
what's
of
up.
California, different states too. You know, because
That's
I
what's
know a
up.
lot of people. I met a lot of people, and when growing up from San Jose, a lot of people that I grew up with, they live in different states now. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So,
And
so I want to get a couple people's feedbacks. I want to hear from like Dirty Weather, like Duece, Chango, and Toko. Right? You guys do know what happened up in Pelican Bay, right?
Well, hey, let me just say this, and then I gotta sign. I gotta get my girls. They running wild right now, but hey, this is hey.
I,
I've said like, and like I don't really want to speak on it too much because I've never been a part of either side. You know what I'm saying? And you know how it is. We don't like speaking on other motherfuckers' politics, but I'll just say this, bro. I feel like this has been an okey doke from the beginning. This whole end of hostility shit, where I feel like who didn't see this coming? Where the big boys down south weren't gonna make a power play eventually. You know what I mean? Especially with Skip and all them being gone. You know what I mean? Like that's just I'll leave it at that. You feel me? That's to me it's I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I've always sat here and thought about that. Like, damn, is this really happening? Like, and then talking to homies that were in like my homeboy just paroled from Hot Desert, I think in September, and he was telling me about the little shit that was going on up there, and he was like, damn. He was like, man, he said the shit ain't how it used to be, bro. You know what I mean? He was like, it's different now. So,
Me and Flacco talked about that though. It was been rumors about that since mid 2000s.
Yeah.
you know.
So it shouldn't have been like that much of a surprise. But
Oh,
overall, like what Hector was saying, like CDC changed and it meant to where it was like the Twilight Zone if you ain't been locked up like in the
Facts.
recent times.
Facts.
most definitely, man.
Hey, but Flacco, you said something about Pelican Bay. I don't know if
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
this. I don't know if it's this, but
Okay,
but I just talked to
okay,
somebody.
so on the 21st, right? There's been peace amongst all groups, right?
Yeah,
Um, Hector knows a little bit more details, right? But they apparently in the kitchen, I guess there's a transition area where you go from one section to the other. They
yeah.
pretty much locked 2 Northerners out, right, from coming in, and 3 Southsiders stabbed a Norteño.
Mm.
You know what I mean? This has
Hey,
been the
Flacco.
first incident since the end of all hostilities was been took into effect.
Hey,
I
Flacco.
see. I see that. That's significant. That's like when Bloods and Crips
Yeah.
had peace, and the first peace was broken. Like I see.
Yeah,
That's significant.
yeah.
Hey, Hector, Mr. J asked, do you plan on writing a book?
To heck,
huh?
I have a book available on Amazon. It's called Operation Yard Recall
Okay, cool.
by Hector Bravo.
All right.
Hey, in there you have pictures of the griminess of my higher ups, emails, documents, all the
Okay, there
scandalous
you
stuff
go,
they were
Mr.
doing.
J. Say the name of it again.
Operation Yard Recall.
It's a
Operation
good
Yard
name.
Recall. Okay.
That's a
Hey,
good name
hey,
right there.
hey, Hector. I heard somebody call you Sarge earlier,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
from a military standpoint, like once you have rank, like you always had that rank.
Nah,
So
I
unless you
appreciate
stripped,
I appreciate everybody that still calls me lieutenant on my channel. I never asked them to, but I know they're doing it out of respect. So that does make me feel good. Like, okay, I walked away from the job, but they're still respecting the title.
because you had to earn that. Like
Yeah,
it wasn't given to you,
yeah. You got to take a test, interview. It's a challenge.
but you got to go through.
LT,
You
excuse
got
me,
to
my
have
bad.
you got to have
I kept saying
experience
Char,
too,
right?
and they make
LT,
you
my
work
bad.
up.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
watched you a couple times. I seen a
yeah. I
couple
just try to
times your
keep it
interviews.
real.
Yeah,
Um,
I like the way you talk. I like your channel. I caught it a couple
thank
times.
you,
LT, pretty
thank you.
interesting. I like the way it's uncut and you keep it raw.
Yeah, I try to keep that
Yeah.
positive message for everybody, man. For everybody.
Hey,
As
Flacco,
former as
Chango.
former convicts, there's a lot of us that wish we could talk to like a lieutenant and get the uncut. Like, man, they were
It,
our, for
we're
lack
doing
of
it.
better word, they were our oppressors. It was us against them for
We're doing it.
a lot of years. So to find one that made it up in the ranks that's sharing his story, like that's profound.
You know, and I figured I
I'm
might as well.
subscribing.
I figured I might as well do it now because what was the point if I would have stuck around to the end of my career and then left and talked about it? All this shit would have been a thing of the past. Well, what I'm saying now is relevant shit that's happening right this second.
What do you
Right.
know about Pelican Bay and Corcoran closing the shoe down?
Well, you got to understand that the CDCR they're at the mercy of lawsuits. They cower to lawsuits and federal oversight. So if they tell them no more shoe, they're gonna shut down the shoe. But to be honest with you, I think that shit's in the courts right now where they're trying to reverse it. They're gonna try to bring up the shoe again if you look it up. And if
Yeah.
not, they're just gonna change the name of it. They've already changed it to restricted housing. It's
Oh
no longer
shit!
it's
Wow.
it's no longer called. They're clever. Or
Hey, hey,
Hey,
hey, hey,
it's
hey,
the way they word that stuff, huh?
hey, do you guys remember when all this shit started? I want to say it was like 98, maybe 99. When they first started trying to come out with the marriage chronos that you had to sign a chrono to be cellies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that shit.
That was the beginning, bro, of all the shit all that little because that brother filed that lawsuit. I don't know the ins and outs of the law. I wasn't no legal beagle, you know what I'm saying? But he filed basically a federal lawsuit saying that by CDC forcing you to sell up with your own race that they were being racist and all that. And I
Yeah.
remember back in like 98 or 99, because I was in Tehachapi, they came around trying to make everybody sign marriage chronos to be cellies with their celly.
Yep.
Yeah, that was like 99. That was 99 close to 2000. By
Yep.
2000, that shit was in full effect. And the rumor
Full
was that
effect.
they was gonna start slapping anybody in the cell with us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um, You know, if there's an incel assault, a cell fight, or whatever, the lieutenant has to do a big ass incel assault fucking form. They got to look at who classified them, who went through committee, who what the fuck. So they can pin it on somebody as to why they got
But
in a fight.
you know why though? Like
Well,
I'm gonna give you an example. Blood from Crenshaw Mafia and the blood from Bounty Hunters. They kept telling the police like we from enemy hoods right now. Like they've been
right.
fighting. They've been fighting every day, and then finally on the third day, after telling the police like we can't compatible, like they got a fight and one bit the other one's ear off and he choked on it and died.
Mm.
Damn.
And, and that dude he didn't even get charged with the murder. That was like that was one of them things. But it fell back on the lieutenant that they was complaining to the whole time.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, times have changed, man. When I was a new CO, brand new at Centinela, and I'd say, I'm gonna keep it real. Like if they wanted a cell move, we used to tell them like fuck or fight, and then you'll get a cell move. And I ain't trying to be
Wow.
rude or disrespectful, but you know that's kind of how it was back then. And then that shit changed because you could get in trouble for that,
Hey,
especially when they kill each other.
hey, Dirty. The OG Bloods couldn't make them two stop. Couldn't make them like, look, we at war with other races. Y'all gotta cut that shit out.
Wait, say that
Yeah.
again?
Y'all, the OG Bloods couldn't make them two dudes stop fighting and like tell them, look, we at war with other races. Y'all gotta, we can't have that shit.
No, because they sellies.
Oh,
They sellies.
What you got going on in your household is your household.
Like you could try as a homie to like try and talk. And there was homies that was going to the police with them. Like, look, man, help. And they pretty much had that like fuck or what do you say, fuck or fight. They pretty much
Yeah.
had that attitude. And then
so
somebody died.
some policy full of blood. They was fighting like that.
Nah, it was one of them things that was tragic.
Hmm.
It was fucked up because Crenshaw Mafias and Bounty Hunters was at it on the streets. And that shit came from the streets to in the pen.
Okay.
Mm.
Yep.
Let's see. Man, we had a very diverse panel tonight, man. I appreciate every one of you guys. If you guys haven't tapped into each one of these gentlemen's channels, they have a lot to offer.
Man, please subscribe to Dirty Weather 916. I just hit 10K.
That's what's up, man.
That's
Long
just
overdue
it.
too. That's long overdue, man.
Man, I'm telling you what I'm telling you. But some of us they make us work a little hard, man. And I ain't been one of them ones to complain, man, because I got a message. And for the day I stepped out of prison, my message was to speak on the injustices that was going on inside and seek to make things easier because I knew that I was doing social media and there's a lot of homies that was coming home with stories. I just had to pave the way, and it worked.
No.
What's whack? I seen Whack Dude. You've been a little bit more active on your channels lately too.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna get back on, man. I just been, hey, ever since, my little dissolution of my marriage, so called. You know what I mean? I've been kind of like figuring shit out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm about to be back on track. You know what I mean? I'm gonna drop a video probably tomorrow. But nah, man. Hey, salute to everybody on here, man. Thank you, Hector Bravo.
Cool.
It's always
Good.
good being able to talk to a former CEO to get your side of the talk. You know what I mean? Flacco, you already know what it is. Dirt, you already know. Nice to meet you, Jay.
All right, bro.
For sure.
And Smokey,
Likewise, good.
man. I think you're the fireman, man. Hey, good job, homie. That man, shout out to you, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
Smokey.
good shit. Yeah.
We got
Yes,
Toko
sir.
up here. Toko was quiet, man. Toko was supposed to
Oh,
tap
that
in with me
damn,
2
bro.
hours
What happened,
ago.
homeboy? Hey, you're supposed to be I'm supposed to be your I'm helping you out. You help me out all the time.
Robin,
Hey, come on, man.
That's
You
what
know,
they
you
say. That's what
always,
they
I
say.
was all between
Like,
you
come
and
on,
Flacco. Always had me in the
Toker,
back.
help me, bro, help me.
Always have me in the back with the weapons in case these fools try to go off, and I had to be the first one to jump. So that's exactly what I was doing. I was exactly what I was doing, just
he had
scoping
the
out
he had,
everything, listening, man. And I
he had
just,
the gun behind his back.
you know
He
what I
was
mean?
ready.
Yeah.
He was
No,
man.
but no, I appreciate all you guys, man. I tap into all your stuff, especially the CEO over there. It's good to get a
You mean
perspective,
the
so
LT?
people don't think that the LT,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, I was like, man, you keep
to
saying
to
CO.
make
I was like,
to make
I didn't know it was just like you're
It's
talking
all
about that other
good.
CO that you interviewed, Flacco. Me and you
Yeah,
jumped on.
yeah.
What was the name?
Who? Which one?
I don't know that one CO. He has his own channel. I don't know what happened
No,
to him.
that's the other one. That's the other CEO. That's someone that used to work at Kern.
Right.
Concrete balls.
That's
Yeah,
different. That's different. It's not a CO. It's a difference between a CO and a LT. Tell him LT.
Nah, it's all good, man. It's all
That's
good.
the key.
you
That's
got
the.
hey,
I'm sorry, guys, but
you got that gold bar for a
He
reason.
said, "I'm no key turner."
yeah. I was gonna say that right now, bro.
That's all good, fellas. But thank you guys, man. It was cool. I like chopping it up with
yeah.
level-headed people. It's all good.
This was a good panel. We had a little bit of everybody, man, and
For
I
sure.
I kind of like it that way because we could talk about different shit on here, man. It opens up the topics, man. They don't just stay narrow and limited.
Hey, Flacco, I had to go through a process and a journey to where I had realized in myself, like, man, I've been judging and this shit is all fucked up. You don't even know these people. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I looked in the mirror and was like, man, shit, y'all just like me.
I
There's really
went
no difference, and I don't even know where that difference even came in because we're in the free world.
I went through the
Yeah.
same thing when I came back from Iraq. I was in the Iraq War, and I came back hating Middle Eastern people. But that was a resentment that was inside of me through my experiences. But I had to go to therapy to unlearn that, and now I
Yeah.
don't have those same
Well,
views.
yeah. I mean, I forget, man. That's you. You're going through two different type of PTSDs, man.
Damn, that's real shit.
Being a
That's the
military
truth.
vet. Military vet. I mean, that's a little bit different than being a correction officer. I mean, and then being
That's
a
more like
correction officer,
that's more
you,
like
you
being
go
an inmate. That's more
you
like being
go
an
you,
inmate.
you
Yeah,
go from
yeah, it
going
is.
through.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
similarities.
Hey, you went from the fire and straight to the kettle, huh?
Yeah, man. No, there's a lot of similarities between military and inmates, man. No showers for long periods of time, working out burpees, spreads, little cubicles with two men. There's a lot of similarities.
People telling you what to do.
Hector,
Yep.
were you an officer or an
Nah.
NCO
I was where in the department?
in the Army?
I was just a E4 I was a fucking
Oh,
foot
okay.
soldier, man, a grunt.
Oh, okay.
Following orders. I was good at following orders.
Oh yeah.
That's my man right there. You know, Toko.
Yeah.
He's right there. You know what I mean? He's ready to go.
Hey,
You know?
Flacco.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Chonko's
man. Hey,
always let me know what rank and file, man.
There you go.
Always.
That's that
hey,
famous
Flack,
saying.
man. Hey, I appreciate you for having me on, man.
Yeah, likewise.
Oh man, good.
You gentlemen have a good night, and thanks for the conversation,
Shout
fellas.
out Hector. Hey, PNG. Hey, you my brother. You already know.
No
Hey,
doubt.
Whack Dizzle, you already know what it is, man. And everybody else that I just met, man, thank you for having me on, man. I appreciate that.
All right, have a
No
good
shit.
night.
No,
Subscribe,
Man.
thank
to,
you,
All the
everybody.
time, guys.
subscribe to
Everybody have a good night, man.
Dirty Weather 916.
And he has a lot, and Dirty Weather be having a lot of panels just like this, guys. He has a lot of different people tap in from all over the place. You
Hey,
know?
hey, Flacco, you can't take from me. I'm famous. I'm famous already. I was on 60 Days In, so I'm famous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, what was the process to get on that show?
uh, Shit, a lot of luck.
Oh man.
A lot of luck. Like when I went on, like I can talk about it now.
You know?
I got my last check, so I'm gonna talk about it a little bit. But nah, all it was is I went on Craigslist. I responded to an ad that said, if you've done a lot of prison time, we're interested in hearing your story. So I wrote my story, and sent it to them, and they was like, we'll be in contact. But I didn't hear nothing for like damn near a year, and then
I'm still
finally,
trying to find the Steve Wilco show, man.
man, that's hella easy to find. Dirty Weather on Steve Wilco.
Yeah.
YouTube. That's hella easy.
I just seen parts of it where you're like, man, I loved you, and you fucking were like, you know what I mean? How was
Oh,
Steve Wilkos? Was he cool
Are you
or
talking,
what?
are you talking about when I flipped the chair?
Yeah. How was Steve Wilkos?
He's a master manipulator.
Is he?
He's a master manipulator. But I say from him, he's real grounded and he was cool, dude. He was a cool dude. I'm gonna say that he got jokes. He really got jokes to where you got to be on guard. That motherfucker. When I took the lie detector test, right? The dude asked me, are you gonna pass? Are you gonna fail or pass?" I said, "I'm about to fail like a motherfucker." So then when they read the results, like they already knew. So at the end, Steve Wilkos said, at the end of the show, like when he gave his 2 cents, he was like, "This is the first time in the history of the show somebody took a lie detector test and said they was about to fail." Another lie,
Okay.
I told a lie on that show because
Yeah.
in Solano we used to have this move where like visitors would come and we put the drugs in like the vending machine, and then this is 2005. This is like 20 years ago. If you're doing this now, you're stupid. But no, they leave the stuff in the visiting machine, and then during the week we come in with our groups, and then we have money already. And just go to the machine and like take out these stuffed sandwiches we put in the thing, right? So I had told them that.
Yeah.
I told them that story. They was like, "Yeah, the Pringle can. Yeah, ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, tell that story on TV." So about the day before I was gonna go on TV, I called the homie that was in prison still. I'm like, "Look, man, they trying to get me to tell this story. I can't do this shit. I'm not doing this. This ain't me." He was like, "Well, make up a story. Say the drones dropped it." I was like, "The drones." So I did go on TV and I lied like a motherfucker and said that the drones was dropping the phones and shit. That was 2018. Fast forward, now that shit really happening.
Oh yeah, man. That's crazy. All right, well, I'm about to end this live. Anybody want to stay in the backstage after we end this? I'll be chopping up back there. So you see me end this shit.
Nah, you did